This episode of App Judgment is brought to you by Netflix.
Welcome to App Judgment, your source for mobile app news and reviews. I'm Mauricio Valvanera.
And I am Stephanie Chu.
It's a special night.
It's election night.
It's election night. I voted.
I voted too.
Actually, I voted. Ya voté.
Yeah.
I didn't notice till this morning that they actually handed
Ya
me
voté.
a Spanish version of the sticker.
Well, ya voté también.
Good job. Very good.
But through the mail, so I didn't get a nice sticker. I'm pretty sad about that.
I need to start doing the mail thing. That sounds a lot easier than waking up at 7 in the morning to stand in line for half an hour.
Polls are open till 8. You could have done it later.
I don't do things after work. I'm really bad about that. But okay, we're here to talk about some Android apps. We're looking at election apps, 5 election apps that are for your Android, not for your iPhone or iPads. I'm going to put this iPad away because we're looking at my Galaxy Nexus and your Nexus 7 here. Starting with Election 2012. Guess what? They're all called Election 2012.
They're all the same, and they all have very similar icons as well.
right.
So please bear with us as I click through these apps.
Exactly. This one's actually called Election 2012 Countdown GOP, and there's a separate app called Election 2012 Countdown Democrat, but if you download one or the other, you actually get access to the widget of either left or right leaning
Your favorite
content.
party.
Exactly. And this one's kind of cool. It is, like I said, just a widget. There's no application. It's just going to be on your desktop. But it gives you, well, it used to give you a countdown. It is now down to 0.
Yeah, it's still there because it's
Still
time.
there. That's right.
It's time.
It's going to give you primarily a news feed that's made up of opinion pieces. That's why there's a separate Republican and Democrat widget. But I think what's going to happen is the night rolls on, those opinion pieces are going to start to become more of like hard data, what's going on in the Electoral College, you know, a little bit more less fluffy information, a little bit more important information, so you should check that out. This is actually pretty simple. I like this one a lot. It was kind of exactly what I was looking for. It was just like at a glance, quick look at what is going on at this very moment.
Right, and so by the time this episode comes out, by the time you're watching this data should be a lot more interesting.
Yeah, it'll be pretty good. We've got another application here called
Election 2012.
Oh, 2012, not 2012. Okay, so this one's a little different.
Well, but it's by Brennasoft software.
Yeah, exactly. This one's kind of more of an Android poll.
Yeah.
So this isn't looking at exit polls or anything. I got really surprised when I took a look at the pie chart, and I was like, wow, they've got information already.
I looked at the results. I was like, wait a minute, where are these numbers coming from? This is Android's projected hypothesis of who's going to win. And right now, as of about almost 3 p.m., Mitt Romney is in the lead with 50% of the vote.
Well, in the lead with 50% because there's other candidates here. You got Gary Johnson in third, Obama in second, and some of the other candidates, some of the independent Green Party candidates. Although there was no Roseanne Barr.
No love for the Roseanne Barr.
Of course, we're naming the vice presidential candidate with her. But anyway.
Oh well, you know, the vice presidential candidates are also on this list. If you don't know all of the candidates, they have a little short bio of each person. So, good to know. Yeah,
it's actually laid out pretty well on the tablet. I was noticing that your tablet version is slightly different from my Galaxy Nexus version.
Well, yeah, this news looks pretty bipartisan. Yeah. So.
Cool. We have another application called Election 2012.
Woohoo!
This is the HTVMA version. This isn't the prettiest application. The first thing it's going to have you do is sign on to sort of your local newscast. You're going to end up getting sourced with a lot of local information because it gives you both local and national news. This is going to give you some information on candidate interviews from the past, their bios, their stances, some videos, some fact-checking from debates, local voting guide, photo of the day, which isn't the prettiest, electoral college map, and a bunch of other fun stuff. But all of it is sort of difficult to get to, and like I said, just not the greatest application.
It's a good effort. I mean, they have a social tab. You're meant to have Facebook updates, but it just has a web page not available sign right now.
Yeah. All right, we're going to have a couple more choices here. One of them was our favorite. Not anymore. We'll tell you why in a sec. But first, in case you haven't seen it, Reese Witherspoon and Matthew Broderick did a movie a little while ago called Election. This was an Alexander Payne movie. He did Sideways and About Schmidt. good director. And this is about a student council election. Reese Witherspoon's character
She's running.
She's running, and she's going to win. God damn it, she's going to win. But Matthew Broderick's character says, I don't know, he's a teacher, and he decides to bring in this injured football player to run against her. And it turns into some pretty hilarious situations. It's really, really good. Just check it out. And you can. It's currently on Netflix. Netflix streams TV shows and movies directly to your home, saving you time, money, and hassle.
And as a Netflix member, you can instantly watch TV episodes and movies streaming directly to your PC, Mac, or right to your TV with your Xbox 360, PS3, or your Nintendo Wii console, plus Apple devices, Kindles, and Nook, and the list goes on and on and on.
And Androids, too.
And Androids.
All right, you can get a free 30-day trial membership. Go to netflix.com/AJ and sign up now. All right, the last app that we're looking at is called Election 2012. This is the New York Times version of it, though, and it's actually really well done. There's a huge problem, but first, let's kind of run through some of the good features. It's really clean. This is like a good New York Times product.
Right. It's a stark contrast to the last app we talked about, where it had a lot of information, but if it's not easy to read, I'm not going to read it.
Exactly.
New York Times has done this layout well, easy to read.
You've got two sources at the top. You've got the top news, which tends to stick to most New York Times articles.
It has links to articles from around the web, including NBC News, even Fox News, Washington Post, and the list goes on.
So this is the first tab. This is kind of the newsy tab. There are other tabs. The problem is New York Times, as is famous for on the website, has a huge paywall. And you can't actually access like the cool, what is this, the election guide.
The election guide.
Now it's got a 404 error.
Yeah, so the election guide is what we're most interested in today because it is election day. We wanted to figure out, I don't know, what did it display before? Like information about
There were a lot of really well-designed sort of infographic type stuff. Unfortunately, I tried signing in today with a brand new New York Times account that I had opened up, and it simply wasn't working. So I gave them a call, and New York Times says, sorry guys, the system is down today on election day. It is not working. So they were nice enough to give me a refund, but this is a known bug on all Android phones and tablets. We went around checking a few of them in the office. And
so it's as good as dead right now. I'm glad that they gave you your 99 cents back.
It's really unfortunate. I fought for my $1 back. It was crazy.
Yeah, it's probably costing them more money and labor to refund all these people. But yeah, right now it's a 404. Oh my goodness.
That's a bummer.
So I wish we could tell you more about it, but honestly, it's just as good as not being there.
This would have been my pick for the top application had it not been for today's error, which is too bad. There is one more sort of app-related thing going on today, and this is with Foursquare. I noticed this morning when I checked in, I said doing my civic duty, and I think it picked up civic duty as a keyword, and it sent me a badge, a new Foursquare badge for doing your civic duty.
So you got a badge on Foursquare and a sticker.
I got a virtual badge and a real badge. So if you go to election.foursquare.com or ivotedmap.com, the first one is going to send you to the second one. Today you can check in on Foursquare and include I voted to get the hashtag I voted to get your limited edition I voted badge, and you can check in on that website to see sort of a gender demographic of how each state is dividing.
Yeah, it has a gender demographic, how many people actually checked in. It's got a scrolling list of all the beautiful faces that showed up to the polls this morning, and it has a timeline of when they voted as well.
Yep, it's pretty cool. The site also gives you where your polling station is, voter ID requirements, and a list of the candidates and the propositions, your local propositions.
So I'm going to check in on this site again just to see the split of who voted for what in each state. So it should be interesting.
Check it out, get your virtual badge on. All right, let us know what you think. Hit us up on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Google+, and all the social networks.
Right.
We're there. All right, we'll see you next week.
Bye.